G-Unit Roundtable, we're back. I'm your boy Corey G, graphic gangster Cole Susak. That's Danny Walter, and at Trey Speed, who front squatted 300 like it was easy money this morning.
It was a joke.
Fucking joke. Fucking joke. It was out. It's out there on the internet too. I saw it.
Yeah, it's out there. Yeah, because it was in a podcast with Tyler. We were talking about how Trey's sneaky fucking strong.
Fuck yeah,
sneaky fucking strong.
Well, now he's like moving for real like a ninja. He's in the shadows by himself.
Oh yeah, he's a silent assassin.
He is a silent assassin. So we had a lot of great feedback on having at King Holland, aka Jakob Holland, on the podcast for his 1 mile, which I love, by the way. I actually have my godfather's actual name is King. And I always thought, like, when you name, his name is King O'Toole. I swear to you. He's Irish, obviously. Yeah. So, like, when you name your kid King, like, that's like a, you know, it's different if it's a nickname. But, you know, I just always thought that was it. And he's not, like, doesn't have, like, crazy swag or anything. But it was, like, one of those. Yeah. I mean, he's, like, 90 now. But anyway, so, obviously, we had a lot of great feedback on just lunges and Jake's pursuit of the record. We attempted the record and fell a little short. So I think what'll be interesting is talk about, you know, maybe future programming, your experience, maybe even lap to lap vibe. You know, 3 of the 4 of us were there. So I want to turn it over to you, Jake, and just let them know what happened and how you're feeling, buddy.
Yeah. Well, first, thanks again for having me on. Really cool. I'll go lap to lap. First lap, 5:25 pace. Which is a PR.
It's like laughable.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, repeat that.
5:25. 400 meters.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was. I felt great first lap.
You know what, Jake? Share with the setup though. Like, paint the picture on what Trey had to do, what we were doing, who was there. Like, give him a vibe of, and then Trey can throw in some video too. I think would be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Trey was taking video, and then Cole.
Step to step.
Step to step?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I had to have video evidence, 2 timekeepers, and 2 official witnesses, and yourself and Don were the timekeepers, and then Cheryl and Todd ran a little late, but John.
Todd a little late.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Gerlach, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gerlach stepped in, and I appreciated that. They were my witnesses. From there, Cole, I told you did the photos, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
I took photos.
And then I had to submit it at the end, obviously, if I beat it. I had the cover letter, which described everything what I needed to do, and then witness statements. And I had all that ready to go. So before I actually started, you had to say 3, 2, 1, go. And then I had to do a little intro, say my name, my application reference number, and what I was attempting. My name is Jakob Holland, and I am attempting to break the fastest lunge mile for a male. My application reference number is 200509154 FLM.
Ball game, dude. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
Got this, Jake. Come on. Just like every other day.
Let's go.
Let me know when you're ready, Jake. Give me a count now.
Come on, Jake. Let's go, Jake. Go, Jake. Here we go, baby.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. So as soon as we did that, we just went right into it.
Well, and the reason why I wanted you to say that is because we got an awful lot of motherfuckers lunging. But I wanted them to know, like, this isn't just me and you going out there and then we just tell Guinness Book of World Records. Like, I don't know how many people watch Dude Perfect, but they do. You know what I'm saying? They're always breaking world records. I watch it with my kids, so I see them. But so the official, I wanted people to understand that not only was it all set up, but the knee had to touch. You had to come up straight each time. So maybe just talk about that real quick.
Yep. So knee had to touch, and I was confused because I saw the video that we watched together. The guy, so he touched, brought the foot, and then touched the other foot before he swung it through, if that makes sense. Okay. So the back leg came up, touched, and then he went forward, which would slow your pace down way more. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I'm thinking, like, if I got a touch, it's going to be really difficult, let alone just swinging through. So I reached out to the current record holder on Instagram, and he said, you can swing it through. You just got to make sure it's straight. So that's when I talked to you about it. You're like, just slam the shit out of your knee and then use that momentum to come up and straighten it out. So I did that, and it was fine. I mean, I also had 3 pairs of knee pads on, and I had to straight the leg. What else was there? I lost train of thought. I really did.
So I just wanted people to know, like, I guess the level of what you had to be conscious of during the process, and then you can lead us through each rep or each lap if you like.
Yeah. So, man, it's just all come full throttle here, and it's just thinking about it, just trying to. I'm losing train of thought. I really don't know why, but
you're fine. I'll lead you through it. So, lap 1, we see you come out the gate. I haven't been there like Trey's been there, so maybe Trey can talk on this a little bit more. But we see you come out the gate at a pace that was, I knew was a PR or roughly, but I was wondering if it was too fast out the gate. And do you think in your mind that you should have paced easier on the first lap, or was the adrenaline and you were just smooth, or was it? Do you have any, I guess, changes that you would make to lap 1? And then I want to hear Trey, as he saw lap 1, what he was thinking too.
Yeah. To be honest, no. That's just how I train. That's how we train from the beginning, and I hot out the gate. That's just how I train the whole time. Whether it was with a 10-pound vest or body weight, I'm going full throttle the entire time until I just can't move. So I wasn't concerned whatsoever. When I saw that 525, I said, perfect. I got 50 seconds of wiggle room, basically. And I was ahead of schedule through my song. And then when I finished 800 meters, it was, the second lap was 6:05. Mm-hmm. So at that point, do quick math, it was like 12:30 or 12:15, whatever it was. So I said, okay, perfect, still on pace. And then, rewind back to lap 2, I could feel the lactic acid start to build up earlier than it usually did. Mm-hmm. And it was the 600-meter marker. I remember hitting that because I thought in my head, all right, 600, one more lap is 1,000. I've done 1,000, 140-some days in a row. Like, no problem. But that's when I was like, oh, man, this is way too early than what I needed. So finish lap 2, go into lap 3. That's when it really started to build up, and it started getting to me mentally. And then when I hit that 1,000-meter mark, it got even worse. And then 1,200, it just like I got hit by a train. Seriously, it was so bad. It was like I was maxing out every rep the last lap. And lap 3 was 7 minutes basically, and then lap 4 was 9 minutes, and that's just not acceptable. So.
Yeah. And the official time is 25:21
Yes.
for the record, and you missed it by basically 2 minutes and a few seconds, right? Yeah, I would say the only thing so I've never been to that level of what I saw you at, like to where one time when I tried to make a mile with 80-pound vest, I quit after lap 3 because I literally felt like every fucking rep was a max out, and it was fucking brutal. So if that's how you felt, I mean, to finish it, Jake, to me was a huge win because I knew how hard I could see it on you, and you just wouldn't give up, dude.
Yeah. And I wanted to, big time. I got to like the 1,300 meter mark and 1,400 meter. I was like, I know I'm not going to get it. I know I'm not. It's like, why am I finishing? I was like, I got all these people out here supporting me. I can't. I'm not a quitter. I was never raised to be a quitter, so I'm not going to quit. I finished as strong as I could, whether it was taking 3 steps, quick break. But I knew really when I brought my other foot in and touched it, it was like it was over. Like I knew I wasn't swinging through. I wasn't keeping momentum going, and it was done. I was disappointed, but like we talked about, it was a learning lesson, and I'm ready to get back after and train again and go for round 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was really fucking cool how, because you knew that you missed the time.
Yeah.
It's like, so everyone out there, like, you listen to DMX fucking Throw It Up. So you knew.
Lil Jon.
So you knew the entire time whether you were on pace or not, and you could tell by the lyrics in the song where the song was at, whether or not you're going to get it or you're going to miss it.
Yep.
So did you ever, like, was there a time where you're like, I shouldn't be right here, like, whenever the song's playing?
Yeah. 13 to 1,400.
So you fucking knew right there that, and then just like, but continuing to finish because you had fucking the 4 a.m. crew was there. You had your parents in from Michigan. I thought that was fucking baller because if I was in that situation, I'd be like I'd be pissed off. Like, But I thought it was cool.
At the 13 to 1400 meter mark, I looked at you and dead in the eye, and I almost just threw my headphones out. I couldn't even hear the song, to be honest. All I heard were you screaming.
Yeah.
Serious. I don't know what it was. I just tuned it out. Yeah. Sometimes I can tune things out like that, even if it's in the gym. Sometimes I don't even hear the music when I'm under the bar. But that's all I heard from 1300 to when I finished was him screaming.
Oh, you heard the whole last lap. He's
Yeah.
screaming.
I knew it was going to be really close
if I kept the pace, yeah. If I would have kept that 7-minute pace, it would have been within 10-15 seconds, which was great. But I physically tried my best to keep that pace, and I just couldn't. My legs were.
And I knew when we got to that point, I was like, it's going to take basically, if you kept the pace, it was going to be right at the edge. Yeah. That's why I was like, I'm about to scream at this motherfucker every rep if I have to.
Yeah, and I needed it, and that's what helped me keep going and not quitting. And everybody being there, it was great. Very appreciative of everyone coming out. And
yeah, boys, this is where the separation's at. This is where the separation's at. Come on, baby.
It's just pain, baby.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. Come on, hang it on the line.
Find that rhythm.
As long as you want. Come
Find
on,
that rhythm.
hang it on the line. Yeah, boy. Yeah, come on.
Find that rhythm.
Keep it going, baby. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, you there. You there,
Let's
Jake.
go. Let's go.
You there.
Find the
Come on,
rhythm.
Jake.
Come on.
Come on. Come on. Nice push. Go. I need another one, Jake. Come on. Come on. Let's go, baby.
Come on, you're almost there.
All day.
You're almost there.
All day.
Let's
Come on.
go.
Come on, Jake. Come on. Come on.
it was awesome, and I can't wait to do it again. But having a crowd, probably not going to happen. I don't think it affected me because my parents asked me, like, do you think us coming down affected your performance? And no. Like you always say, you should show up and put a show on.
I don't think that had anything to do
No.
with it. You didn't look nervous to me at all for that.
In the beginning, I was a little nervous,
Yeah.
but I think it being dark still helped. I didn't really see anybody. So, that was cool.
Sure.
So, like, going into the day of, like, the 3 to 5 days prior, how did you feel? Were you tapering going into this? What did your, like, nutrition look like? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because I think I tapered too much. I really did. My last max effort day was 12 days out with the 1200 meter PR, 18:06, and I was on top of the world. I felt like I could have just smoked it that day. And it's funny because I PR'd on the slant board, PR'd on the dead mill the day before. So my legs were still a little sore.
Yeah.
I had no idea I was going to PR. I asked Trey, what am I doing today? Body weight. Okay, we're going to PR. So you just go out there and do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I started doing a little bit more of whole body cryo and some Normatec on my legs and salt baths. And I did it way more and more. And my legs felt awesome. I wasn't sore. I was hitting 30-minute 1,000 meters to taper it back and not get my heart rate too high. I was keeping it between 120, 125. I was stopping and counting it to keep track so I didn't burn too much energy. And I just thought too much into it. I overthanked the whole 12 days. I just laid around, did my lunges, stretched a ton. I was stretching like crazy at night, using my gun, everything. I was trying to.
Not to mention you don't have a template whatsoever.
No.
What motherfuckers lunging a mile? You know what I mean? So you're literally shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
So like you're kind of blazing the path right now. So now you're just kind of seeing what works, what doesn't work the best for you.
And now I know. And I mean, we trained like the whole time without taking rest like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I need to do. If I do anything, it's going to be like a 1 or 2 day taper back, maybe 3.
Yeah.
But not 12. That was silly.
Well, now you know, so that's good, man.
Well, I think the first thing to get out of the way is I think everyone here knows that you can break the record.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure.
It's clearly obvious.
I think you know too.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, your fucking pace was insane. I mean, I was out there twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week with you, recording you, and this fucking pace is nasty.
Yeah.
And combined with the fucking stride.
Yeah.
Literally legendary. It's about to literally be legendary once you fucking get the record.
Yeah. Now it's all about like kind of like how in powerlifting you just have to put together a solid day. Like that's pretty much just what's has to happen.
Yeah, and we talked about it. I did it on a Sunday. I don't ever try to PR on Sundays, and I didn't really think about it because all I thought was day 550 in a row of at least 800 meters. Like break the world record on day 550. That'd be awesome. Great story, but I'm not going to do it again on a Sunday. It's going to be like a Tuesday or a Friday because that's when we train for PRs, Tuesdays and Fridays. So I looked on the calendar. November 17th is a Tuesday. We'll see what happens. We might have to apply again and because it's going to take probably 10 weeks for them to even accept it, because it took them 10 weeks the first time. I haven't logged on since, but I need to do that this weekend and see what I need to do.
Yeah.
So from my point of view, one, I learned a lot by being there that day. I think I can help a ton this time around. And like Danny said, you are blazing the path because it really doesn't exist, right? But the taper, what I experienced early in our process with all the band training, one, our daily level of fitness is far more superior than most people's, right? And especially in this case. In a 12-day taper, what I found with the volume that we keep is way too much. And then you get cute with the cryo and this other shit, and it's fucking just ain't what we do, right? Now, I think that stuff helps, but not whenever that's not what your norm is. It'd be different if that's what you did the whole time, right? So I think it's easy to do that. It's a great learning experience. But what I found, this happened to our guys. We tapered almost like a West Side taper. It was like 8 to 12 days. Those guys don't even touch anything for like a week. We went there and every one of the dudes looked terrible. And I was like, it's too much time off. Like we actually we got super compensation, which the Russians talk about, which is when you taper just the right amount and you eat and you rest, then the body actually gets stronger, has higher performance than it did previous, because we're beating ourselves up all the time. But then there's a diminishing return on the other side if it's too many days. And so that's why with the band protocol, if we're on what would be 4 bands, or now we're using blacks, whatever, on a Wednesday, we're squatting Saturday morning at the meet, and it's just the right amount. You know what I'm saying? So our last squat before the meet is band tension plus the bar weight equals the opener. And then it's a day off, it's make weight, and boom, you're squatting. And the reality is, I don't think this taper should be probably much different. And the fact that you're going to do it on a day you normally exert max effort, that's definitely something. I understand the narrative you were going for, which made a lot of sense. But I'll tell you this. When I had that adversity of when I thought I was going to squat 781, missed it, bombed out 3 times with Louis Simmons there, and then when I came home, my face was on fire, which is why I started squat every day, which changed my whole career. I don't only think you're going to beat this, Jake. I think you're going to smoke it. And then I just think, honestly, as shitty as that was, the story is just much better and has more sauce to it when you have to go through. What's the first thing I said to you when I walked over?
You're going to beat it again. What?
I said, took David Goggins 3 times.
Oh, yeah. It did. It really did. And I listened to that the week prior. Well, the week leading up to it. I listened to his whole world record in his book. I didn't want to do it number 2 because just me being me, I wanted to get the first try because I know I could do it. But that's not what God had intended for me, so we're going to go for number 2 and get it.
Yeah. Well, now, like, the next time you go into it, you already know how it's going to feel.
Yep.
Like, you know what leading up is going to do to it. Because I know a lot of times, especially in powerlifting, whenever we would take so many days off, you fucking start getting in your head, and it starts to everything that you're about to do starts to become much bigger. Like mentally, just everything's inflated. Like the hype's inflated, everything like that. So now, whenever we do a meet, it's really just like the day before. You want to do a meet? Yeah, let's go fucking do it and just show up and execute. So I think that like next time you do it, you're gonna feel so much fucking more zoned in. I
agree. It's funny you say like you overthink it. The last 12 days, that's all I thought about. I was just overthinking everything. I was like, all right, what can I eat for lunch? All right, what's for dinner? I can't go out there. I haven't had that the past 6 weeks. I don't want it to mess my stomach up. I was overthinking everything.
It's like micromanaging yourself a little bit.
I did.
Yeah.
It was bad, and I got anxious.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't do it. Like I didn't like it, and I'm not gonna do that again.
Yeah.
So like with like specifics, like what are like 3 things that like you absolutely want to change about what you did? Whether it's on the day of, the leading up to it, whatever it is.
I think maybe, so when I talked to you about squatting, you said do it twice a week. Mm-hmm. That following week I did it twice. And then the following week after that I did it once. And then after that I didn't do it again. I think keeping at least 1 or 2 days of squats will help a lot. Whether it's front or, I prefer front, I like it better. I think keeping that in there. And then doing the slant board heavy a little bit more. Yep. And then the dead mill that's an everyday thing. I like that. So at least those. Yeah. And maybe not just eating Pop-Tarts every night. I think being a little more. I mean, even though I felt great on them, it's just the sugar built up. I'm starting to get a lot of sugar in me. and that would just
feel like a little
good.
sluggish or something like that.
Yeah, to be honest, I was shitting like crazy.
Yeah.
All the time. As soon as I got back from the gym, all the time. Or right when I got to the gym. It was bad.
The pre-workout combo.
Yeah.
It's like opening a trap door.
I would definitely keep the 3 scoops of creatine in there. For sure.
So can we talk about like
Creatine, Cole. Creatine.
Oh, dude, creatine. Yeah, never get off of it. Just take it all the time. Fucking creatine forever. But so we've been talking recently. So pretty much, let's talk about like the bands. Like what's next for training wise? Because you obviously need to do something different, and we're like trying to come up with like some actual like training program with that. So talk about like the devices with the bands that we're gonna try to fucking like magically make happen.
Yeah, so I took the band with the handles, like I showed you guys yesterday, and I took it to the track, put it on my shoe. Like when you step, it doesn't move. But then I moved the handle to the side or on the inside, and the band was on the outside, so it wasn't like rubbing against my leg, and it actually worked pretty well. I only did a few just to feel it out, but I'm gonna test it out this weekend and take my time and see what it feels like. But the band, I had it just hooked up over my neck, but try to rig something up with Velcro at the end, maybe cut it in half, and whether it's around my chest so it's at like shoulder height, but just to get that band tension, I think would be kind of
strap
cool.
it. I think it would be so cool if like you could build up to doing like fucking 4 bands, like something like that. Dude, that would be crazy.
4 for like 100, take one off and do 3. Just keep going. But yeah, I think one day a week could be nice with like 25 pounds, whether it's 800, 1200, or just take my time and do a mile with 25 pounds just to build up that strength and the lactic acids, because I know it's going to be there. I think that could be big too.
What was your playing weight in basketball?
In basketball, 225-ish.
What do you weigh right now?
This morning was 238.
So I think that the other thing was the relationship between body weight to recovery. So I think that you probably need to be closer to your playing weight personally, because I think that's obviously, if you just do the straight math on load volume, if you're 20 pounds lighter, that's going to just affect you completely different. So I think that approach, but the problem is being able to recover. So that's where we need to tweak some stuff, and I think I can help with. It might be a whole nother meal. It might be way more sodium. But I think if I think back to when I was the best at my lunges, it was right before when I was doing like shows. I'd be like 177, 178. That one time I did like 40-pound vests every day for like a couple hundred days for 800 meters. And dude, I didn't really time myself then. I definitely wasn't as fast as you or Trey, but I was fucking fast. And I was fucking peeled. And I just remember when I would shed that thing, it was fucking, I just felt like I could go forever. So, oh my gosh, unbelievable. And it's because I was walking around 20 pounds lighter on top of it. So you got to figure that was like a 60-pound swing of me doing at the track at 195, which is probably a normal weight for me if I just eat regular and lift, right? The being like basically 180 and then training with the vest and then just shedding it, it was literally like felt like a rock star. So I think there's something that's got to happen, especially if you have a 10-week period. You go like a pound a week, you know what I mean? Like, and even be 10 or 12. I think that'll make a huge difference too, Jake.
Yeah, I think so too. And I noticed towards closer to the date, I was getting heavier and heavier with the more carbs and things like that. The day I PR'd a 10-pound vest at 1200, I was 225. So then the 10 pounds was 235. And I calculated the volume, and it was like, with the vest, it was like 288,000 with the steps and things like that. So I think you're right. I think the 225 is a good weight. Yeah, and I usually walk around between 223, 228, but with all this eating and the pizza and pasta and all that good stuff, just I could put weight on real quick. And the sodium. I mean, I'm eating lunch like it was rice and beef. All I could taste was salt. It's literally the only thing I could taste. I took a picture. It was the whole. You couldn't even see white rice. It was basically pink. I'm legit just pouring as much as I could. And then I started drinking pickle juice the week before.
Yo, I've actually been drinking fucking pickle juice a lot recently. That shit's so good. Yeah.
I didn't mind the taste. And then I started eating the pickles because the juice was gone. So
that's amazing.
I usually drink probably like 5 ounces of it before I go to sleep.
Dude, one of the go rucks I did with my cousin, it was his first one. He did not take the nutrition seriously, let alone the fucking training seriously. And we're on the Cleveland Browns stadium stairs, and he's cramping up. His foot and ankle is so fucked, like, because he's cramping so bad. And then, like, our cadre, our leader, he, like, gave him pickle juice, which he's lucky he gave him that, because he's, like, hobbling along like he just went to war, it looked like.
Dude.
And it worked.
Went away right away?
Pretty quickly, yeah, within, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah, what's another sneaky one is mustard. In high school, there was, like, one football game. It was, like, 100 fucking degrees out. Everyone was cramping. They gave us fucking mustard packets, and we had to we had to suck on the mustard packets. Dude, it was fucking legit.
Who brought the mustard? Yeah.
actually, they didn't have the packets. They put them in like little fucking cups, and we had to drink it out of the cup.
That's weird as fuck.
That is some fucking Ohio Valley shit right there, bro.
Dude.
I had like an envision of like how they do the water bottle. They had like a mustard, like
Yeah.
like they do fucking squeezing
Yeah,
mustard
just
off.
sitting there.
Well, two other good ones for like hydration. I mean, obviously aside from like the aminos and stuff, like from Max Effort and everything, but things that I've used is like Salt Stick is a company. They just have like little tablets. That's not an actual stick.
All right, here we go. And
Here
it begins.
Here it is.
Here it
Here's
is.
the turn, everyone.
I was waiting for it.
Anyway, they're tablets. But I've used those, and they help me, I guess, not cramp up and everything and stay hydrated. And then one of my best friends, Joe, he's an Army Ranger, and he's the combat medic. So I'm like, dude, what do you guys use? Like, what do you give to your guys, like, when you're out with whatever movements you're doing? And there's, like, this concentrated hydration, like, complex thing. But they just come, like, in little, like, tubes or whatever. But it's Drip Drop. That's the name
Drip
of it.
Drop on the salt stick?
Drip Drop on the salt stick, yeah. No, but they're just like in little like powder form. You just throw it in there. But it's like, it's like concentrated like electrolytes and stuff like that. That might be something to look into. I don't know.
Yeah. I did start drinking some Pedialyte too. Trey recommended some of that.
Oh, yeah, there you
I
go.
drink
I
Pedialyte a
love
lot during
Pedialyte.
track season.
After a long night.
No, yeah.
For
They
real.
help- yeah, for sure. That's how I
Yeah.
got on it.
Seeing how the thing is steering the wrong direction, I'm going to tell you something I was watching last night. I was watching. You guys,
What were you watching last
has
night?
everybody seen Karate Kid?
Yeah.
The original Karate Kid?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they got the new Netflix one or Hulu or whatever where it's like them now. And it's called Cobra Kai, right? So it's so cheesy but amazing. So let me paint a picture for you real quick. So
it, please.
Johnny, the dude that fucking had the blonde hair, that guy. He's a loser now. He's like drinking all the time. Like he's mad because Dan LaRusso beat him, right? And LaRusso's a fucking car salesman. He's like running shit. He's got these billboards. Well, that dude climbed up there and painted a dick on this fucking, right? It painted a dick on the fucking billboard. And so the dude's driving to work and there's a big dick painted right on the fucking billboard. And then, this is amazing, his competitor sent him 100 sausages for lunch. And said, basically, so I thought of you, Danny. I should have sent it to you. But anyway, if you guys want to watch a really cheesy fucking Netflix show, Cobra Kai is pretty good, especially if you watched Karate Kid growing up. But beware when you're watching that part with your kids.
Yeah.
It's a little bit awkward.
Get any questions?
Where do we go from here?
Fuck, I don't know.
Dre, you got any other questions?
I don't honestly.
So
I mean, I spent all the time at the track with them. We just talk then.
I had this idea. Do you think him doing like max out, so he has max out PR days of like distance, everything like that. What about incorporating like a speed day, which would essentially be like it'd be the same volume, 1,000, 1,200 meters or whatever, but just 100-yard like lunge fucking sprints, max out.
Yeah.
Like that might be something to.
Well, I think the key is somehow and what you've been trying to find with the dead mill with the slant is replicating that next level of lactic acid threshold. The other thing I thought about is, should you be, which is going to take a while. Well, actually not that long for you. I mean, most people that do 800 meters, it takes them as much as it takes you to do a mile. And it's like, because I did it one day for like 4 days in a row and then thought it was a fucking terrible idea for me at least. I was like, what if I just do a mile every day? And I wondered if you've thought about, like, what if that just became your training, although it's going to be brutal?
Yeah, I've honestly thought about it. And I think we talked about this already. The 75-day training period, I did a mile twice. And before that, it was Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve was a 32-minute mile. And then the 10-pound vest mile was 40 minutes, and I tried something new that morning, and it was not a good idea, and I almost threw up like 3 times. But and then I did a mile 4 weeks out, and that was my PR, 27:22. I didn't even PR last Sunday. That's what I was most disappointed about. I didn't even PR. So I think I need to do miles more.
Yeah,
for sure.
At least once a week.
Yeah, I mean, my base is 1,000 right now.
Yeah, no.
So at that point,
yeah, like
200 more is only 3 laps. What's one more lap? I can recover from a mile. Not like the 27-minute pace every time, and I'm not going to get that every single time. But if I try to push a consistent, maybe like 30, 32 for a few times, and then a few times at like 27 again, because that lactic acid built up and the soreness I feel the past 3 days, I've never felt before. The lactic acid feeling, I never reached in the gym. I never reached it on the slam board, dead mill, ever. I thought I had it because when I trained for the 1200, I was getting there, and then went to the gym and mimicked it. This lactic acid buildup was a whole new level.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Probably just because you're so fresh.
Yeah, I was.
Just fucking
I was
pumped
too
up.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Yep. It just built up way too quick too.
Yeah, dude. If you got the like your standard of was a mile every day, that'd be fucking crazy. Because it's eventually like us in the gym, dude. If we if we bench just 315, everyone can do more. But if we just hit that like consistently, no matter what, even if we're having a bad day, that's fucking still really good.
Yeah.
So if you got that to that level, man, it'd be fucking smoke show.
Yeah, like maybe like a Monday, Tuesday mile, Wednesday 12, Thursday 12 or whatever, Friday, Saturday mile, Sunday 8 for active recovery.
I think going like that, like almost like you crescendo up and then crescendo down, I think that'd be really smart. Because I think at the end of the day, it's like you just didn't think about if you had only had 10 weeks and you ran it like that, you would experience that distance literally 5 times the amount per week that you did now. I easily think you can handle the volume. You're gonna drop some weight during that, and I think your mental understanding will be just so much more. That's what I'm saying. That's where there's so many lessons through putting yourself out there. And yeah, I wouldn't have the fam next time. Not because I don't think you're gonna do it, but because then you just don't even have to fucking worry about that.
I suggested that he does it like silent, like he doesn't tell anyone. He just like
just
tells
whoever you
have to
That's
need,
it.
and just go, yo, we're fucking doing it this day.
Yeah, I mean,
like no hype whatsoever. Just fucking go out, execute, and then everyone knows that you fucking broke the world record.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to be in November. I just got to apply. But I also thought of talking about everything and training. Why don't we try maybe doing legit lunges in the gym with the bar on my back? Yeah. Like trying to go heavy. Like you talk about like just one step, maybe backwards or step forward, whatever, and then just work to a one rep max.
Yeah. Some lunges. Of them like deficit reverse lunges too are awful, but make you so strong.
So way back in the day, we used to work up a max effort day on lunges where I think I made I know back in the day it was like around 300 pounds. I made a front rack 315 at the CrossFit gym for a single each leg once, and I saw Clarette do 405, which was insane.
Fucking Clydesdale.
Yeah, his fucking legs are huge. But I think what we used to have where it was front squat, lunge was like one of the, and I saw a lot of sketchy stuff where I thought dudes were about to blow their knees out. So that's why I don't have it in. And our guys are advanced compared to most people. So that's why I took it out. But I think what would be really helpful though is, and I know Matheny really liked this too, when we would do like 5 to 8 reps and grab the 100, 125s and do them on the mat. So we would just go up and back on the mat for 3 sets and work up. I think that would be really beneficial for sure.
I agree. And I saw Coach Myers does those all the time with heavy dumbbells. I think I tried it a couple of times, and I think I grabbed like 50s, and I was dying. And then he grabs 115s. Very impressive. Yeah, I agree. I think heavy lunges is going to be where it's at. Just get that feel up.
Have you ever thought about like going off the track, like going uphill or anything like that?
The dog park I do them around is there's a small slab that's very slight uphill, but I have done them uphill before, and it is a huge difference.
I couldn't fucking believe how much harder that is sometimes.
Yeah. I don't even know where to go though around here uphill, to be honest. Yeah. My apartment complex is pretty straight, flat.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I'd have to do some research.
Big hills.
Where are you exactly?
In Columbus.
In Columbus.
By Easton.
By Easton. Okay.
Yeah, right off
Get back
Stelzer,
to
by
you
the
on that.
airport.
Yeah.
So.
What I think is, speak on this too, Jake, because you obviously were an athlete, played in college, but it's like, talk about, now obviously it was an obsessive level most of this time. In the last 12 days, overly obsessive probably, which is what happens when you try to break a record like this. But talk about like the purpose about having like really a goal to this level. Like, doesn't it make you feel like, one, there's a level of separation, there's no question that we're already putting ourselves through, but I think it gives you like a whole different sense of just, I don't know, just life and fucking push and like opportunity and just like reaching up for something that's, you know, really getting you there. And like a lot of people don't really even get in this area of things.
Yeah. Like we talked about last time during quarantine, I was just down in the dumps and just nothing was on the calendar. I didn't have anything to look forward to. So I applied and then boom, it switched. And you always say, put something on the calendar. And that helped so much. Yeah, I would obviously highly recommend putting it on the calendar and doing something. But the whole process, week by week, I was getting more confident. Just talking, whether it was with work or just being in the gym, I felt stronger, mentally stronger, everything, just because of the record and training for it and putting it on the calendar. So yeah, I would have to say that did help a lot.
A lot of growth.
Huge. Yeah, I grew so much. Like
Just the videos with Trey alone.
Oh, from the first one, I watched it. I think I watched it like a week prior to my record, and I was like, I just looked awkward. and then at the end,
I think you look awkward. You see Danny's first podcast.
That's what I was just like.
I watched it.
I'm just messing.
No, but for real, yeah. You say chode boy?
So that's been a big thing. I mentioned Dose messaged me and said some nice words and like coming out of my shell, and I really did, and I didn't know I even had another level of coming out of the shell, and it's helped a lot, big time.
Well, you just mentioned you just don't want to be average. I think you said that on the last one.
Yeah, I did.
And it's hard for people to like wrap their minds around like what that actually even means when they're
Yeah.
just, you know, going through the motions every day, like going to their work, coming home, watching Netflix or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing this? Like, why do you want to lunge a mile? So it's like
Yeah.
hard.
It's funny you say that. Quick little story about a friend of mine. He's trying to start a podcast, and he asked me to come on, and he's not a member, so I'm not really concerned about it. But he says something about like talking about mentality, like someone like your average person like yourself. And as soon as I read that, I was like, I'm not coming on your fucking podcast. I'm not fucking average. I'm out. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I was like, I'm not average. I'm not in your category. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Yeah, it just
I was
gets to the-
offended. I was
it
like,
just-
you can think I'm average.
I mean, it
What
just
makes
gets
it
to the
happen?
point where like our minds are so callous. Like we fucking go to the gym at 4. You're fucking going for a world record. Like we're not trying like to be out here fucking doing what everyone else does. You know?
No, it's
That's hilarious.
Fuck, that was amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I really don't. Even with work, like I'm trying to do the best I can every single day. And go back the week prior. What did I do? What can I do better? So it just carries over into everything you do.
I love it.
I love the blank stare of like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I give that back to people when they give me some dumb shit like that. Like, motherfucker, like obviously you don't know that what it takes to be like this, or you wouldn't ask me that dumbass fucking question, or put me in that category. Fucking drives me crazy. I wanted to thank you though too, Jake, because it really pushed me as I was driving home from watching you attempt that. I was in my head like, motherfucker, you only got 16 days left till you got to fucking dunk this basketball. You better get your shit together. Like, it would really, like, once again, I had a calendar date, which is going to be the 18th of September for me. And it really, like, I'm down a few pounds since Sunday. And I've been, you know, I'm also going to tie my cheats tighter this week, next week. I don't want to be dehydrated on the next couple weeks of training. Like, and that's what we should be doing for each other, right? Is pushing each other with these things. Like seeing Trey smoke show that weight this morning, you know, was awesome. The things that all Cole and Danny with the Go Ruck, like unbelievable. The things we're doing in business, like that's what our crew does well. That's what a lot of people don't understand, is that it's like it's a team that is pushing each other in to be the one of one category, which is Goggins continually talks about. And then if you have a lot of people operating like that, it's to be expected that, oh, Jake's about to try the world record. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. What day do we go show up? Like, I mean, that's like, you're not going to get an answer like dude gave you. Like, that's not how it is. Like, the expectation for success and next level push is really what our crew's about. A lot of people don't really understand that. And maybe you can speak on that because you're one of the newer guys over the last, 6 months or a year.
Yeah. I noticed it right away as soon as I came. And obviously I was following for a year before I came out here, so I kind of had an idea. But being there physically was just completely different. You guys are in there helping each other because you're competing against each other, trying to beat their person's way. And I was trying to compete with somebody this morning, and I failed. And now I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to come back next week and try to do it again. So, it just helps me push a little harder, and it carried over onto the track today. And I texted Trey as soon as I was done. I told myself I need to stop being a little bitch and feeling sorry for myself because the past 2 days, I'm not kidding. It took me 40 minutes to do 1,000 meters. I was like, oh, my leg. So today I said, I'm going to do it. Like, I don't care. I'm sore. I'm going to push it and get out of here. So.
Isn't it funny when you catch yourself? You're like, what are you doing? Like,
Oh yeah.
I could feel it a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I could feel it the past few days. It's like, man, I missed it. It's like, what can I do now? But what's helped a lot is coming in and squatting right away. I love it. It's great. And I was feeling good this morning, so I was trying to keep the pace going, and I could tell everybody started getting some good weights, so it was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being around everybody, like-minded individuals that push each other constantly.
I just love how, like, we push each other in the gym, but half the time, if we're like, while we're not in a set, we're talking about fucking business.
Yeah.
We're talking about how like our businesses are going, and like, so that push I think is really what separates it. Because if someone's lacking on business, they're having a tough time, then we're thinking about that, trying to give them advice to help fucking push through it. So I like that the aspect the most recently.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't have gone to Joe if I didn't listen to your guys' podcast about financial. So, and I pushed me out of my comfort zone for sure. And I talked to Trey. He sent me some apps and looking at some Jordan shoes. With your chain, it was Jordan shoes for me. I was going to buy some Jordan shoes. I've never owned a pair of legit Jordans. So,
Jake, I'll buy you the Jordan shoes. You get the fucking record. Me and you will shop for the fucking StockX. I got you. I whenever Trey came through and saved me on the fucking video stuff, what was the first thing I grabbed you, Trey?
Yeah, the band ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was like, dude, I wanted to show love right out the gate. You stepped in. You came through. I knew he was a sneakerhead. I was like, let's do this. So I got you. As long as they're not like $5,000, we're good. But we'll get us some Jordans. That's the least of my problems. That's for sure.
I'm actually thinking about like trying to like set something up to where I buy a pair of Jordans too, because I've never owned a pair either.
Never had a pair of J's?
Dude.
yeah, me either.
Well, I mean, I didn't have them in the Valley.
I was like,
You got no jumper. You can't get no Jordans.
Oh, I had
I don't know if Danny can pull them off.
No, I don't know. It might be weird. I think you could do it. You need one of Trey's shirts
yeah.
and some J's. What Jordans you want, Cole?
I have no idea.
Oh, well,
I
fuck.
don't know. I told Trey that I want to get a pair that, like how he says, it would go up in value. That's
Yeah.
what I want the first pair to be, and then I want to get something I can just wear around.
Yeah,
Never have to worry about
I didn't
it.
like save any of the boxes, or I need to get on the Trey tip too.
Yeah.
I'm fucking.
I've had so many Jordans.
I'm the worst reseller of all time.
Yeah. See, like, Trey tells me about all this stuff all the time. I'm like, I just would have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, I think you look good in some 11s, Cole.
11s?
Some
Yeah,
11
you like
low
11s,
tops
yeah.
player. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the Concord 11s, man. They're like my dress up sneaks, you know? Hey, get you some, player.
That's amazing.
They are amazing. Every time I wear them, people are like, oh, this is my favorite.
How many?
You got to keep the patent leather, though, shining.
Approximately, how many are there? Like, how many different pairs of Jordans?
Well,
Different colorways.
the
models.
different colorways is like thousands.
Yeah,
but there's
probably
like
thousands.
But what, 30?
30, either 34 or 36 different models.
Yeah.
But any model past 12, in my opinion, is
Yeah.
irrelevant.
I think so, too. They're ugly, bro.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the ones he wears in Space
Yeah, the
Jam.
only-
Those
yeah,
ones are
Space
sick.
Jams are 11s, I
The
think.
first
Yeah.
12, after 12 is irrelevant, in my opinion. And then also, a lot of the colorways that do come out are irrelevant, too, because
Yeah.
obviously the more popular ones are the ones that he wore in-game.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
those
yeah.
colorways. Or
Yeah.
they just have some kind of special meaning behind them. They're, at this point, Jordan Brand's kind of just slapping random fucking colors
Yeah,
on.
of
And
course.
people
Yeah.
buy them because they're Jordans.
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
Which ones do you want, Jake?
I did like the Space Jam ones, but I know I talked to you about the really rare ones. I think they're those ones. Are they the ones that he got
The
sued
Vans
for?
ones.
Or
Yeah,
got
yeah. That's
fined?
the pair. That's the pair I have. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're fucking amazing.
One of those 11s or yeah. I don't know the numbers. I'd have to see.
Yeah,
a
it's the
picture.
ones.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I knew those ones were the ones, and I know the 11s and the 3s. But there's one, the one solid color on the side. Are those 12s? I don't even know. I
don't know.
I'd have to
We're all
see.
gonna be sitting here on this
The
podcast.
11s are fucking sick. The problem is every time I wear them, I'm scared I'm gonna fuck them up. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got no creases in the sides or the leather, like the patent
I
leather.
crease the fuck out of my shoes.
Yeah, maybe I need to just not care. I even had people ask me like, "Yo, how you?" Because I got the black cement 3s. Like, how you got no creases in those? I'm
I
like,
think they
just
look better with creases.
Oh fuck, Trey, my shit's looking too shiny out here.
Oh shit.
You gotta wear your shit. You
I
gotta show
do.
people you wear it.
Well, I mostly wear sandals, but.
That's what I'm on.
Yeah. All right, where we go from here? What else you guys got? What's going on, Danny? What do you got? Anything? You gonna do an Olympic lifting meet anytime soon? Or are you on the go rough tip for a minute?
That Olympic weightlifting has been kind of floating around. It
Yeah.
hasn't taken a hold yet, but I want to do.
I saw you doing some cleans and shit the other day.
Yeah, it's been fun to kind of do them every once in a while, but I'm gonna be doing like some sort of a go ruck unsanctioned event by myself.
Like 100 mile or some shit, then you say?
I haven't said anything because I don't know which one I'm gonna do.
I'm putting the pressure on you.
But it's either gonna be 50, 75, or 100.
Well, you already did 50, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you
that
can't like
one's
kiss your
basically out.
sister. Fucking do that again.
Yeah, so it'll be 75 or 100. Anyway. Yeah, so it'll be that, and then maybe I'll jump back in do some more weightlifting training again.
The efficiency with your clean and jerk, pretty solid.
Well, that's actually funny because I was talking to Blaine, one of my good friends, Blaine, because he's like all in, like he's like strong as fuck, like he's
Didn't he clean and jerk like fucking 380 or something in pounds?
Yeah, his top end, I mean, or what he's going for next is 160, 190, which is basically 355 pound snatch, and then like a
that's fucking strong.
And then he wants to clean and jerk over 400.
Yeah, he played ball at Harvard.
Yeah,
he's a Pickerington kid. Morgan trained with us today.
He's fucking big. Yeah, that's what they were saying. That's awesome.
Fucking beast.
Yeah,
I mean, he cleans
savage.
like over 400, don't he?
Regularly.
Yeah, regularly. Like on a Tuesday, he just cleans 400. He's 16 years old or 17 years old.
182 kilograms is about 400 around there. So it's like he's trying to go like 410 to 420.
Yeah, so
because he's going to nationals in December.
Morgan smoked 2 blacks and a red with 235. Went to 275, and then he couldn't get through it, and he was like, that fucking pressure, because he's kind of tall too.
Yeah.
Because he don't really hardly ever talk. I went over, I said, now you have a concept of what that shit feels like when you see it on IG. He's like, that jumped on me quick. Because he didn't flare. He's coming from a deep spot, like Olympic lifter. He didn't flare fast enough when the tension hit him. So he could have made it for sure. And then for him to see guys make 315 plus, he was like, you could see like, he was like, yeah. When they came in at like midnight, they slept like 2 hours and came to the gym. So, I mean, it's still cool.
Did he come in with MASH or with his?
He came in with his mom. His mom's competing in powerlifting, I think on Saturday, which is kind of cool. Hey, mom.
That's sick as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, who does that? Whose mom does that?
Yeah.
And Morgan's what, like 16?
16 or 17.
So
He's one of the best junior Olympic guys like in the country.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
For sure.
So fucking cool.
Kid's a tank.
Yeah. Jake, I'm throwing it to you. Now that you're out of your comfort zone, you got anything for these guys?
Ask us some questions.
Ask
What's
you
on
guys
your
some
mind?
questions.
Yeah. Get us. Get in our
Cole,
minds.
how much creatine do you take per day?
All of it. Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah, all of it.
Just scoop
I
with
used to
every water.
just do like a full fucking tablespoon. Back whenever I was on like the fucking gain train, like trying to gain like 30 pounds in a winter, I would go wake up, orange juice, boom, an entire scoop of creatine, and then I would have the fucking old Arnold mass gainer that had fucking more creatine in it. Then before bed, another orange juice, boom.
Oh my
creatine.
god.
I didn't do it that long, but I got fucking pretty yoked. Felt really good.
I'm pretty yoked.
I took one scoop. So I took one scoop consistently for about a 3-month period, and I noticed a drastic difference. So I can only fucking imagine.
Honestly, I haven't
Big
really
difference.
taken it probably like consistently in like probably over a year or two.
Wow.
From an explosive standpoint, it's the most studied thing of all time.
The first week that I got on it, I PR'd by 0.2 seconds in a 100 meter. When 0.2 of a second in 100 meters is a long time.
Yeah, I never took it like while I was playing sports. I only took it after.
Yeah,
But I
that's
wish
the
I
only
would've.
time I've tried it. So I didn't. Whenever I was like pretty strong in the weight room, I never took it.
Yeah, me either. I should get back on it.
Interesting.
You guys are making me want to get back on it.
Yeah.
All right, creatine.
I haven't
Col-
taken it since the MP days.
The creatine cowboy is back. It's coming.
Jesus.
I've been on it for a
You
while.
talking about creatine or Coke?
Oh shit.
Okay, this is a pretty basic question first, but I know you always talk about put some on the calendar. What's on your guys' calendar? What are you guys training for? What
November
are you looking forward
7th,
to?
4 a.m. crew. We're fucking back. Said it on the podcast with Tyler, but the 4 a.m. crew's fucking back. We're going to go in there and light fucking shit up.
Yeah.
All of us haven't competed in probably over a year, because especially with quarantine. So yeah, we're fucking hype.
So you're powerlifting meet,
Yeah.
Danny?
I don't have the specific date, but it's going to be the end of September is whenever this ruck is going to take place.
And I think you should do the 100.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I know what it's like. One of those things where like I know which one I should be doing or should be attempting. It's just, I mean, just stop being a little bitch, I guess. It's just obviously just being a little scared of it. I need to figure out where the fuck I'm going too, because obviously 100 miles, you got to figure out where you're going.
You do it straight?
Cincinnati? I mean,
No, I
He
mean,
dropped off
Hey,
somewhere.
you should go back in the valley and just walk all those fucking roads.
yeah, I don't know.
That'd be the longest 100 miles of your life.
Yeah, that'd be awful. I don't know.
It would be.
I would probably try to stay on I'd try to stay on like bike trails and stuff if possible, so I don't get hit by a car. Because like when we did the 50 miles around Columbus, and like at one point we were walking down Sunbury Road, which you shouldn't be walking down Sunbury Road on the shoulder.
like 3 a.m.
Dude, it was terrible. Yeah, but we did that one. Like we had a group of people, so that one was interesting. So like there were some people that were having some real foot problems with blisters and stuff. So once we broke off from them, it was actually me and Linda, my girl, and we did an 18.5, which I think we could have cut like probably legit like 2 hours off of that. So I'm pretty much in this for like close to 2 days, I would guess. So it's just becoming like, I think Goggins talks about it. It comes down to like a math equation, like how many miles are you going to do per hour so your feet aren't totally fucked.
Yeah.
At mile 25, and then like what shoes you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, like so.
Dude, doing something like that would take me forever just because I short step everything. Like
Yeah.
I barely move whenever I walk just because of the way my hips and everything is. That would take me fucking
Are you saying it's
forever.
because you waddle?
I don't have a waddle. It's just like most
What's happening, Cole?
It's just like most
Creatine
people,
cowboy.
Most people take like these long strides whenever they walk. I just naturally can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I walk slow.
That
Actually, I wouldn't even say I walk slow. I walk short. I
don't think it's necessarally bad in a case like
I
this.
think it's because you're worried about what's going on up here, Cole. maybe
I walk around like this.
maybe that's fucking up your stride, bro.
It might be. I'm flexing my triceps at all times.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
Yeah.
Jeez. What about you, Trey? Got a drop coming or what?
Yeah, so I don't really have. So training-wise, I never have anything on the calendar, to be honest. But I do want to add 405 front squat now because this morning, when Jake texted me after he lunged and said that he was being a bitch and all that stuff, that's exactly what went through my mind. That's exactly why I even front squatted this morning in the first place, because I was tired as fuck going to the gym. I did not want to train this morning at all. I almost said fucking slept in. But I went and I was like, all right, I'm here now. I'm like, I'm gonna do something I don't fucking want to do, which is front squat. I hate front squats so much.
Yeah.
I hate it. And so I want to front squat 405 at 150.
That'd
What
be
do you now?
fucking wild.
I haven't weighed myself in months, maybe a year, maybe like over a year, to be honest with you. Don't even own a scale, none of that shit. And I just go off the look test every morning. And my guess would probably be high 150s, I would say. But I think though that I can front squat 405, especially with some fucking wraps on and a belt. I mean, I did 300 this morning, beltless and sleeves, and I haven't done it in a while. So honestly, I might have to make the goal a little bit over 405. I think.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But
Get
yeah.
that.
I mean, I just haven't been squatting. Like I lift in the morning before you guys get there, but I only do upper body shit. I do the get stacked shit, but I just do upper body shit. And then on Wednesdays, I typically only do like the accessory stuff, the jumping, all that kind of stuff. I just don't do the back squat. So I think Wednesdays is gonna be front squat day, and then either another day needs to be a front squat day as well. I think with maybe some band tension. But I just gotta figure out which day I want to substitute. Because when I squat, I kind of take a while, to be honest, because my SI is real sticky. I was telling you about. I always had really bad SI issues, so I kind of have to take a decent amount of time on my warm up and stuff like that. If I only did 300 this morning, I can feel it in my SI right now. Like when it gets really really bad and there's more weight, it literally like I'm in pain in the walks in the car. It's not good. So.
Do you think the lunges with the 20-pound vest have been helping? Because I know you've been doing that, and you've been going pretty quick.
Yeah, I've been doing 400 with 20-pound vests recently, and I think that's gonna help get the stability and all that shit in the SI. I mean, but like the thing with my SI is like, in my opinion, it's kind of just fucked because I do. You know what I mean? Just being straight up, like I do all the shit that you're fucking supposed to do for it every single day, and it always bothers me.
One thing I noticed, Trey, and remember I told you about Dr. Dorsey, my buddy from high school, with that thing I'm hanging in. So my SI has always felt like that since I fucking locked it real bad when I was pulling 600 that one time. Being in that thing for 3 to 6 minutes every night before bed, when I lay down, I'm completely deloaded. Like I don't feel anything in sacrum, anything in the SI, and I haven't now then applied it to heavy stuff yet. I will after I dunk.
Try that though.
I think it's huge, dude, because it's almost like using the reverse hyper, but less drastic, and exactly L5S1 in SI, and it just gives you like just enough distraction daily that I can tell a pretty big fucking difference.
Yeah, I'll have to try that because I have some issues sleeping sometimes with my SI. I kind of have to sleep a little weird on my side or something like that just because it's a little sticky at night and stuff like that. And the thing with my SI is when mine popped, I was senior in high school, back squatting. We were warming up. There's literally 135 on the bar.
And it just locked up?
135 on the bar was in the hole, and I pushed to come up, and it just fucking went. I just like literally dropped.
Yeah. That's what happened to me when I was pulling it that day, and it's been like kind of weird ever since. So two things, like if you are on one of those balls and open up your glutes, and then you hang in that thing, I think over time it gives you to where it starts to be like, okay, this is more my normal, not the tight normal, which is what I've had forever.
So I mean, it doesn't bother me like crazy on any normal day. I wouldn't even say I notice it. Sure. But any time when any kind of lifting with my legs though, it instantly always comes back, and it typically comes back pretty bad.
Yeah. It's aggressive. All right, back to you, Jake.
More questions?
Yes. Questions.
I wasn't expecting that one, Corey. I'm not gonna lie. Let's.
Well, just for like people like on the site and stuff like that, the Lunge Nation, I guess. Yeah. Most of us, myself included, you get to the track or wherever you lunge and you just start, right? I don't know if that's what you do or if I think you mentioned you did some stuff or you have started to do some stuff prior to lunging, because like me. I kind of start off a little slow, then I'll kind of increase and go faster and faster.
Yeah, so obviously the gym's only 5 minutes away from the track. So when I'm done doing any heavy lifting, I'll do a lot of stretching, the so right, and then I have one of the same ball you have, and then the massage gun. I do that, a lot of stretching before, but then when I get to the track, I usually take a lap and use my hip circle. Yep. Use the hip circle, do the sides, high knee, anything, my duck walk, but then I just keep some good blood flow going. Sometimes I'll do some more lunges before I actually start, just to get a feel for it if I'm really trying to PR that day. But today I wanted to get in and out, and I just went right to the starting line because I need to quit prolonging it. Sometimes I prolong that lap, and we'll take the lap 20 minutes, and
for sure
stand at the line for 10, just shooting the shit, and I usually typically do a lap.
Gotcha.
I really like the duck walks. Anything with the hip circle before lunges, I always do. It makes a huge difference.
Hip circle's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I do that every single morning with it. Mm-hmm. So,
what I'll be interested to feel from my own performance is because I've been dedicated to the ISO lunges for now at least a month, if not more, almost 5 minutes each side every day, and then now with the toe up too, I can feel pretty different. So I'll be interested to see like when I then go back to the track, like just how secure I feel or how is my initial 400 meter time look at, because I've never applied isometrics like this on the slant board. Definitely never applied them at this level from a lunge standpoint. And I could barely do 2 minutes when I started. Now I can do 5 pretty much every day. So that's the isometric stuff's really interesting. And I'm also starting to apply. Me and Trey did a couple little videos on it the other day from a standpoint for upper back too, which I need for my bench, especially with not having that super spinatus. But doing the kind of rotator cuff one and then almost like a arrow one. Isometrics to me are just really intriguing on, aiding your process. And that's the other thing I was going to say. You weren't able to do 5 minutes, but probably because you were so tired. But I wonder if that also, even if it was a couple days a week, if you were able to achieve that, if that couldn't, that's got to help too, Jake.
It would help 100%. To be honest, I would dodge them because they were so difficult. Yeah. After the slant
Says the guy who can do
isometrics, I dodge those.
Yeah. Serious.
They're fucking hard.
I think that it's super difficult, especially after the slant board and then the dead mill, and then that's your process. You go to slant,
Every
right?
day.
Slant or dead.
I go dead mills,
slant,
then that.
Yeah, like I'd have to do lunges first because it's the lactic acid from the other exercises.
So actually, I'm glad you said that. So when I was trying to figure out this relationship between the jumping and the lunges at the track, on the weekends for a few weeks I was doing lunges, then I would do the 5-minute isometric lunge, then I would do I didn't have a slant board, but I put my feet up on like a fucking gate or something. I'd find something at the track. And I did that, and at 400 meters, it was okay. Obviously, at 1,200 something, that'd be a lot more difficult. But I would say if you added that as a lunge accessory, essentially, and you could easily smoke a 3 to 5 minutes, I don't see how that could hurt you.
No, yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I need to start doing them. I need to quit dodging them, to be honest.
Dude, they're so hard.
They're so hard.
So hard.
They're very difficult. And I thought I'd be decent at them too.
That's what I thought too. And I do 1 minute, and I'm like, I don't want to do another set.
I'm the same way. The most I got was 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
I'm really feeling good about myself right now. I'm just going to say, because I haven't been able to fucking take part in all the lunging that's been happening in this group. So it's like, but that shit is hard. I mean, at 3 minutes, the time is going slow, and you start thinking, what am I doing to myself right now? Then I play games with myself, get to 30 seconds, squeeze your glute more, push into
you're
this.
just sitting there.
Yeah, bro.
It's not like lunging. There's like a
something
finish
going
line or
on.
some
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's I noticed
a knife in your thigh. Yeah.
after the first week, and here's after because I did 5 minutes on Saturday coming in to see you on Sunday. I was really sore when I got there on Sunday because I was dehydrated doing them because I drank like fucking 5 Guinness the night before. And so I started to realize, so I came out of seeing how serious you were, and I was like, I'm talking to myself, obviously. You got to quit fucking drinking. Your fucking legs are sore today. You barely made 5 minutes because you were obviously depleted of water. Like, the fuck are you doing? You only got 2 weeks till you got. So all that was going on in my head as I was going home, which is pretty funny. So, Trey, it's funny that you're dodging them because, honestly, it might help even clean up your SI too. Because SI is an actual dysfunction of stability. Mm-hmm. And so when the body has one moment of instability, it locks the SI. Yeah. So that makes sense if those are hard. If you don't dodge them, motherfucker, that it probably will help your SI.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is they're fucking really, really hard on the side where the SI is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
On my right side, my left SI is the one that's fucked up. Mm-hmm. On my right side, I can do is this still going?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
So I usually do five. I can't hear it anymore.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear it. I usually do 5 sets of 1 minute.
Okay.
And so I can do the 1 minute 5 sets easy on the right leg. Mm-hmm. Left leg though, like 1 minute, just 1 set on the left leg is fucking hard.
So what I do is start with the tough leg first, so I can get it organized.
I usually do this leg first, so start with
start with the leg that because I couldn't make it through the second leg all the way. So if I give mine is if this leg is back, that's the hard because that's where it's real tight on that side. So if this leg and I noticed like the first time I ever tried them, I only made a minute and a half. I couldn't squeeze this glute because everything was so tight. Mm-hmm. So then second or third set time doing it when I got 3, 4, 5 minutes, I would always start with that leg. then take a really short rest and go to the other leg because I know it's my stronger leg. So it's already fatigued, but then go. And then what I also noticed, which I think helped with performance, when I was able to do that for 5 minutes, then I went up onto the toe for 5 minutes. The amount of tension in my calf
Yeah, I
and
tried
ankle
that one just fucking sucks.
fucking sucks. Like, sucks. Sucks.
It's not exaggerating.
It's so bad.
So I've started my 2 weightlifting classes Tuesday, Wednesday night. I've started to make them hold this position.
Yes.
Because like with a split jerk, I'm like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to fucking hold this
It's true.
position. So if you don't feel comfortable here with nothing in your hands,
Yeah.
like you're done for.
They
So
probably fucking hate it.
yeah, but I make them do like maybe 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. That's
on,
not,
each
that's not enough,
side.
Danny. It's too nice.
No, I mean, it's hilarious. No, but 30 seconds it destroys people.
In the balance, too.
I mean, you have like someone who's like, maybe 23,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have fucking Shirley who's like 55 or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have a lot of
Different populations.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but it definitely ultimately makes them more stable for sure and gets them ready like in 2 seconds.
My balance has changed dramatically. It's interesting because when I interviewed Gary Player, the thing he said that you lose the most as you get older is your legs and your balance. He's like, core gets bigger because most people get fatter. He's like, and he got up in the fucking interview and slammed himself in the stomach, which was amazing. But he was like, he said the balance and stability, and that's what he said he noticed as he's 80. He'll be 85 this year. And it's like, he's like, did you see my somersault off the diving board on Instagram? I'm like, I was like, yes. It was so good.
I just think about simply getting up out of the chair when I'm older. Like,
Yeah.
I want that to be like doable.
Well, I'll tell you, like, my
It's
grandfather had both knees replaced. And when he got the second one replaced, his mobility and quality of life like decreased a little bit, because when both your legs are not quality, as you get old, it's tough. So if anything we can do, like the things that we're doing with the lunge work and all the squat work and all the SI help, like that's going to preserve us for a long time. Because here's what happens with most men. You see a guy gets a pot belly and he loses his ass. Estrogen goes up, testosterone goes down. Leg training creates more testosterone and growth hormone. Your balance stays, your strength stays. And that's literally what happens. Everybody has their friend that's an old man that they see like they can't keep their fucking pants up. They got their belt this low because their belly's over it and they got no ass.
Yeah, ass falls in
It's the
toilet.
deterioration of fucking males, I'm telling you.
Seriously.
100%. So lunge your fucking shit and get it together.
There's your quote.
Bang.
Yeah.
Lunge your fucking
Like that,
shit.
Jake? Jake's like, yeah, because everyone knows somebody like
That's
that.
why you lunge right there.
Well, the thing I'm struggling with is I gotta stretch so much for my lower back just from sitting at the computer all day, and especially with my fucking hip issues. It's this right hip, and I don't know what exactly wrong with it. Like I need to go get it checked out to see like if it's whether or not it's just like weak, if it's like fucking too tight all the time, or if there's actually something wrong with it. But like fucking sitting at a computer desk all day, man, it fucking kills my back. Like if I look in the mirror, I can see like my ass is sticking out, my back's like pushing in, like it's all fucked up. So I've been stretching a ton.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was talking to Tyler Treadway this morning about the same thing. I think we have the exact same issue with our hips. It pops. And
Yeah. See, my thing is, dude, I can't get my hip to pop. Like I can't do it.
it feels like it wants to, but it won't.
No, it feels like if I fucking spread all the way out, or if I hold the isometric, it feels like there's something in there that's just like fucking squeezing like this. Like it just needs to like break apart, basically.
That's how my left one feels.
Like a wishbone.
Yeah.
My right one though just fucking pops all day.
I got a good question I just thought of. You said yesterday in your daily fire, just put yourself out there and go swinging. Who would you swing to if you wanted to interview somebody? Because yours was Gary Player, right?
Oh shit.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger. So who would be one person that you would want to interview
Honestly,
for 30 minutes or something like that?
Fuck, there's a few people. Mine would be, because I actually, here's this.
Great question, Jake.
If I could, interview, but my like thing in my head is if I could choose people to sit at a fucking dinner table with and just drink a beer with, it'd be The Rock, John Cena, and Cam Newton all together.
Oh, it's all like that combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, all outlandish cats.
Yeah. and then if I could throw one more in there, it'd be Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I like Michael Thomas, bro.
For sure.
Well, Tim Ferriss for sure.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm just thinking about all business
He's
people.
a fucking character, bro.
Yeah, Tim Ferriss, got to. I feel like Rogan would be a fun interview.
Yeah.
And who the fuck knows what would happen on that
That's
interview.
fact, yeah.
And then
Tim Ferriss just took over our podcast whenever so I made a mistake. I sent him what we were going to talk about, John had to like almost punch him in the face to like give the mic back.
That's what he wants to.
Dude.
He wants you to send it to him.
Unbelievable, bro.
Yeah. And then Ryan Holiday probably.
Yeah, I like
basically
Ryan.
all the guys like in that realm.
That's all
what
his
I
little
vibe
crowd.
That's what I vibe with the most.
Yeah.
On a day-to-day basis.
Well, yeah, because the Daily Stoic, obviously you have it tatted on you, like,
Yeah.
and that's Ryan Holiday and Tim, right?
Yeah, Ryan Holiday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he's up under Tim's situation though, right?
I don't know.
thought he was.
I mean, there's definitely got to be
Some type of
sort
correlation,
mutual,
right?
Yeah. Relationship there for sure. But yeah, Ryan owns like the Daily Stoic.
That's murdering it.
Yeah. So I mean, then he has his books and stuff like that. Oh, there's another guy named Mark Manson.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I haven't read his books, but it's the guy who wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh yeah,
that guy.
I got that book.
But just like I've read his blog.
Such a basic book too.
It's a basic, yeah. But like Ryan, he actually just interviewed him this past weekend, and like his whole premise is like it's impossible to give 0 fucks, but like you just gotta give a fuck about the right things.
I like that.
You just gotta
That's true.
Minimize your bondage.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. Truth.
Best title in the world.
It's so good.
Who's yours,
Good,
Trey?
I'm probably gonna interview Kanye West.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be good as fuck.
I'd have to, yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
it would be
for
fucking
sure.
crazy, like,
Yeah.
especially if he's on some shit.
He was
It's
on
over.
Which is most of the time at this point.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
bro. It would be.
But you just respect his like ability to such a degree, don't you, Trey?
Yeah.
It would be amazing to chop
and
it up.
and even though I don't agree with a lot of shit he says,
Sure.
I respect that he says it
Yeah.
because a lot of celebrities, I mean,
Facts.
at the end of the day, he is a pretty broad mainstream celebrity.
I would
and-
argue he's one of the most popular people in the world, probably.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably would just be afraid to say any of their views on hard topics like how he speaks on.
He might give 0 fucks.
Yeah.
If there's one person that really doesn't give a fuck, it might be Kanye West.
Yeah.
You got anybody else or short list? One guy.
I would interview Sean Weatherspoon. He's a vintage dude.
Oh yeah, you mentioned him
Round two
before.
guy, yeah. He basically brought vintage streetwear to the mainstream per se in early 2010s. Him. I would probably interview a lot of musical artists, to be honest. Like, I would love to interview A$AP Rocky, if any of you guys are familiar with him. I would love to interview him.
I couldn't tell you a song, but I know who he is.
Yeah, I'd love to interview A$AP Rocky. I'd love to interview Frank Ocean.
Yeah, I knew you liked Frank Ocean a lot.
Frank Ocean
What,
would be-
what intrigues you about Frank Ocean so much, Trey?
It's mysterious as fuck.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, he hasn't released an album for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
And the reality is he's probably not going to release one for probably another 2 or 3.
Just doesn't care.
He finessed Def Jam for $20 million.
Yeah, that's dope.
I think I told you about
Yeah,
that.
you did. Amazing.
He's just a straight G, and he's been around for so long, and just being able to see his career come from, I don't know if anybody really listens to it or anybody listening, but like Odd Future is how Tyler the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, Sid, Frank Ocean, that's how they all kind of brought mainstream, and Odd Future was kind of like a fuck around group that they had back in before
Like a
2008.
Wu-Tang kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah, like between like 2008 and 2012 or so, they would go outside and just do dumb shit and record and stuff like that. But they were a hip hop group, and they all kind of blew up from that. It was like an immature group per se, like an
They were like
immature
vlogging
group.
and shit, basically?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's cool.
they had a TV show on like Adult Swim or some shit. Like
Yeah.
they were doing dumb shit.
But they're fucking off.
Yeah, and to see how all of them have just progressed their careers into very, very mature, like a lot of
Legit.
For example, Tyler the Creator, like a lot of people look at Tyler the Creator now, and if they would have heard his music 5 years ago, bro,
Yeah.
they would cancel him so fast.
But the evolution, so you've seen
That's
the
why I
whole
love
thing.
the evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was one person I wish I would have had the ability to talk to or interview, it would be Mac Miller, for sure.
Mac Miller's
Miller.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like
Yeah, I
it
saw him
seemed
in
like
concert
every
too,
every like severe like where I'd enter a new chapter like in life, maybe be going into high school. He dropped an album there. I think it was Kids. Like I was listening to that in middle school. Then whenever I went to college, he just dropped another album. And it was all the time. Like that's all we were listening to. And like his music, I think had the most impact on me. So
That's
I wish
cool.
I would have been able to talk to him.
Who's your
Honest-
list? Jake, go ahead.
So I was just gonna say one more. Well, kind of two. I mean, I keep thinking about Arnold just because, like, if you ever read like Total Recall, like, he's had like one of the most interesting, fucking fascinating lives in the world. Like, it's mind blowing to see like where he started and everything. So there's so much to take away from there. And then like another guy that comes to mind is I haven't heard a lot of his stuff, but like there's a couple of his movies that are just like they're in the top 5 like instantly for me. It's Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Who did like the Batman, one of the Batman trilogies. He did Inception, which is probably my favorite movie. Interstellar's another one. So he's kind of trippy.
His movies
Very
are
good
amazing.
movies, trippy.
Yeah, so he kind of has like a pretty good relationship with Hans Zimmer, who's like a musical composer and stuff that I listen to a lot. But like those two guys would be very fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
my first one would be David Goggins for sure. Oh yeah, 100%. Another one that comes to mind is a guy named Rob Bailey. I've been following him for a while. He has a few companies, so he's just a crazy guy, and I just like his work ethic and what he stands for as well. So
I don't know much about them. I think because they were like in the NPC world as I was coming up, but they've only progressively grew their businesses and done really well, and do it in their own way too, which has been fun to watch.
yeah, and I've been following them for a while. When they were in Pennsylvania, now they're in Montana, and just the way it's gone and their brand, it's just completely different. And I was put on to him from a buddy of mine, so same one that put me on to you. So yeah.
So I'm going to speak on being able to interview some of these people that you've spoke about, right? Tim Ferriss, amazing. Eric Thomas was one of the guys I wanted to interview real bad, which we got to interview, and I got to spend some time with him in Chicago. Having the obviously spending time with Arnold, which I've spoke about a bunch of times, is unbelievable. But Gary Player was one of those ones that felt a little elusive, and because of his age, being 85, and he's in the category with Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer, I was just like, I did the Daily Fire on Throw a Line because it's literally what I did. I was like really wanting to work with the PGA, which I'm working on right now. And I was like, where else would be the best place to start if I could get the guy who brought fitness to golf? And it's somebody me and my grandfather talked about a lot, as did we with Arnold and Jack LaLanne. So Jack LaLanne passed away, but I would have loved to interview him because he was like the person that had like a fucking workout show in the 50s on TV. He was amazing. And so when I threw it out and his daughter got back to me literally like in a day, I just sent him a DM on Twitter. And I figured he probably didn't run his social media because he's so old, right? And she was like, oh yeah, how about Monday at 9:15? And I was like, fuck. And I want, yeah, it was literally like that. So like, okay, so for all these years that I wanted to interview Gary Player, that's what it took. What the fuck am I doing? So, which is the reason why I put that Daily Fire together, because I was like, literally the turnaround was less than a week. And then the leverage of that turnaround has already been shown by my talks with the PGA, because I was able to get a guy like that, because we're going to, our team can put together a good product. Like it, I think it's going to end up being something great, or the opportunity of something great. But I'm telling you, I wouldn't have been as confident in calling the call with the PGA if I didn't have that. All from just a fucking being like, all right, let's see if dude checks his DM. I mean, come on. He doesn't know who I am or what I did. They have no clue.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't hurt that I'm verified. I know, and I have a following. But at the end of the day, they don't know me from the next fitness guy that has the same or more followers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, to me, it was that was a really cool experience to listen to my own fucking advice that I give out.
Yeah.
And then I think it's going to open up some really unique opportunities. I think that when I think about, the interview with Tiger, Arnold, Gary just recently, Tim, Eric Thomas, those are like the ones that I like got a little nervous for, but I was excited about, because I'm thinking I'm about to extract information from some people that have done these things better than the rest of the people pretty much ever in the world. Like, it's such a minute level percentage of greatness in all of their fields that's where I get so excited about interviewing and understanding and learning. That it's like I got lost when I was interviewing Arnold at the gym for the original one, where he answered something and I didn't even hear what he said. Like, I kind of heard it, but because I was so in the fucking moment of something that I had dreamed about, that it was like an eerie level. It was so cool. Mm-hmm. It was really something. So anyway, so yeah, watch the Daily Fire if you never watched it, because I think I had actually a decent amount of people hit me up on it. I wasn't like crazy yelling like some of my fires, but it really will that little thing right there is going to mature into something that I can't release yet, but I think it's about to be super fucking dope. Yeah, so great question.
Just real quick, like on Tim and Arnold, like, was
Yeah.
there something, I don't know if you remember or not, but like, was there something that you really wanted to ask them, or was there something that really, what's most intriguing to you?
I would say my Tim interview was lackluster. Like, we just didn't, because he just ran it.
Yeah.
And we'd had to steal it back from him.
Yeah.
I would say my interaction with him in person was better.
Yeah.
So what I thought was interesting about Tim was when I met him, I was at an Arnold charity event poker tournament. It was like the second or third one that I'd ever been at. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. It's actually the pictures right there from it. And so I went there and I heard he was going to be there. I saw the guest list or whatever because I was still working with Arnold at the time. So I got insight on all this stuff. And I was like, as soon as I got there, I'm looking for him, 100%. And so I walk up and say, hey, Tim, I'm Corey Gregory, one of the co-founders of Muscle Farm. I'm really excited to meet you. I read the 4-Hour Work Week. He goes, oh, you're the squat guy. I said, I am. So he knew what's up because he's friends with the guys from Barbell Shrugged too. So I think he had listened to the episode or at least was aware of it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, I'd squat every day for like, I don't know, fucking 2 years or something at that point. And he's like he said like, I'm very intrigued by that whole process. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, I got his attention. So he'd never own up to this, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. So this is some good stuff. So I knew he definitely wanted to fucking basically interview me, but maybe he would never put me on the podcast. I don't know. Like I wasn't a big name, right? So I went to 4 different places within that event on purpose, and he followed me to every one of them. Because I would answer a couple questions, and then I'd go over to get like a slice of turkey. Then I'd answer the question, then I went over to, there was like some fucking Louis the 14 cognac, some shit that's like 100,000 or 10,000 a bottle or some shit we were taste testing. And I went to that. And then he came over. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Somebody can look it up. It's pretty serious. And then I went over and literally I was like, all right, this motherfucker is like really interested in what I got to say. He's following me around this party. And because he was like interviewing me every step of the way. It was amazing. Because I mean and then I was giving him just enough, right? So and then it was actually pretty epic. I thought it was gonna, but see, here's what I didn't do very well though. Well, first I beat him for the watch, which was epic, and he wrote about it on Reddit actually like a week later. Yeah, because somebody sent me the message. So when you get to Arnold's, they give a fucking Richard Mille away for the winner, which for you guys don't know, that's like $100,000 watch. There's like 50 people at this thing. And you got like Don Cheadle and Joe Manganiello and like fucking Annie Duke's there, like won the fucking World Series of Poker. So I get sat at her table, and I'm thinking, I don't even know how to play poker. First off, yeah, right.
Amazing.
But I remember the year before last, the guy who got last got a $5,000 watch. So they give last place a watch. So I'm like, I'm all in for last place. So I see, all right, I got Annie Duke, who's the fucking World Series of Poker leader or whatever. She's there to essentially like basically beat people to try to, I think, help not give the watch or get, I don't know. She's there for some reason, but that to move the poker around. So I'm just keep raising her, bro. And everybody fucking folds. And it's just me and her. And I go all in on the first hand. All my right? Because I'm trying to lose.
Yeah.
So here I am, no fucking clue what I'm doing. I'm all in against Annie Duke, who's won the World Series of Poker at Arnold's house with all these fucking celebrities. And I'm either going to epically beat Annie Duke on the first hand, or I'm going to lose and win this $5,000 watch. To me, that's a great situation, right? And then when I lose or win, I'm going to go smoke cigars with Arnold because he don't play poker. He's just over there hanging out. So anyway, I go all in. I barely lose. Like, I forget what my hand was or whatever, but it was actually like pretty fucking close. And they're like, all right, first loser, Tag Heuer, fucking $5,000 watch. 30 seconds later, Tim Ferriss goes out. He had the same fucking idea, but I beat him to it. And so what happened with him though was, right, he was so he was at a different table than me, and the problem was everyone thought he was hacking the fucking cards. So they all folded and he won the hand.
Amazing.
And so then when he comes over and he's like, you beat me at the exact like strategy I had. I said, yeah, when I write a book, I'll probably mention that in my first chapter too. Like I fuck with him, you know what I mean? And so it was one of those things where then, but what I didn't do a very good job of, and this is all within relationship building, especially at that level, it's like I always talk about, you don't try to like fuck the chick on the first time you meet her, right? But in that situation, he had already basically interviewed me. He had we had a situation with that. I should have said, yo, let me get your contact info. He probably would have gave it to me. Instead, I was a little bitch, or I just forgot and didn't, because then I would have followed up, probably would have been on the podcast, might have had a different relationship. So I definitely missed that a little bit. Now, I was able to get him on the podcast later, but it was that whole thing had been years, you know what I'm saying? But that was my interaction, which was actually pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I remember pieces of it, but I wanted to tell
that's a full story.
Yeah.
But when I went all in with Andy Duke, though, I was like inside laughing to myself.
Yeah.
Like
just like staring in the eyes, like
I was just like fucking I was like, this is fucking hilarious. Like, because I literally have, one, probably shouldn't even be here. Two, have no clue what I'm doing. And I'm pushing raising a World Series poker champion.
It's like, who's this
so
peasant?
whenever you're at these events, is it like pretty much every event you go to, you're like, do you have like some realization like, holy fuck, this is like where
I think
I'm
it's
at?
always like I think the first time I saw like Clint Eastwood, I was like,
you were like, holy fuck.
Yeah, because not even that, and for a lot of people that are younger don't even know who he is, but I guess he's still directing movies, like 80 something. But like I remember like my parents and like my grandpa, like Dirty Harry, fucking like all those Western movies, and like I walk in the kitchen and like he's standing there talking to Sylvester Stallone, and then I didn't even know who James Cameron was. He was standing right there, and I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself like,
Avatar,
exactly, you know, Terminator 2, whatever, and so I'm thinking to myself like, all right, G, like you're supposed to be here, but like, are you supposed to be here?
like you're here, like holy shit.
Yeah, but I'm here, and every year Rachel goes, "You think we're still on the list?" I said, "I think we're still on the list, hon." She's like, "All right, you think you're still on the list?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're good." So it's pretty fun. Now with COVID, I don't know if we'll be there this year, but yeah, but the first time I was ever there though, Cole, that was probably like the best. Even though I didn't know anybody, I just knew the cigar guy, and I was literally sitting on the back porch smoking a cigar, thinking, all right, you've done enough crazy shit to get yourself here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if you never get back to this spot again, I'm on Arnold's patio smoking a cigar, and he's my business partner, and none of these motherfuckers know me, and you know, and that's okay. But that was a really cool realization for sure. So, all right, shit, man, that was a great episode. Jake, yeah. I gotta tell you, I'm so excited for you to do it again. Hopefully you ask me to run the fucking clock again, and I think that this is just, we're gonna change some stuff. I'm gonna help you with it. At the end of the day, I don't even think I think you're gonna literally smoke it. Like, I really believe that was a great learning experience, but it's going to be like a chip shot this time. I think it's going to be hard, but I think you're going to wire it into where I think you're going to beat it by a decent amount. Like, I really believe that. Hopefully you believe that too, because I think that's going to happen. You guys got anything else for him as we kind of get out of here?
No, dude, I'm excited.
You got anything you want to tell the guys on Corey G Fitness? You did a great job last time.
Yeah, just I got a lot of support from it too. The guys on there, a few actually came out to the track and watched, so which was really cool to see. And yeah, don't dodge the lunges. Just keep at them. Serious. Just quit dodging it. And don't feel sorry for yourself. 75 days ago, I would have felt sorry for myself failing at something like that, especially with yourself being there. One of my idols growing up. It's like I feel like I let somebody down, but just get back up and keep after it.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, talk about that, because I'm sure you weren't surprised, but the support, even though you didn't get it, like that right there has to feel awesome, Jake.
It really did. It felt amazing. They all hung out for a few minutes after and said congrats. I mean, I didn't win anything, but I mean, my fiance put together a breakfast, had some family come over, and she had a couple signs, and she bought me a new gallon. That's not the right one, but so serious.
Fuck yeah. I said fucking green.
I'm serious. It was the support was overwhelming, to be honest. I got a lot of good feedback on Instagram, people commenting and direct messaging me, and made me feel really good, and gave me even a little bit more confidence going into the second attempt, and it's going to happen. And I 100% believe it. I know that day everybody has a bad day, and it just happened to be on my calendar date that I had, unfortunately, but that's not going to stop me from attempting it again, because I know I'll get it.
I love it. Like Arnold told me after the MP shit, it's all about how you stand up next. It's not about just that exact one. So for King Holland, Cole Susak, that's Danny Walter, and at Trey Speed, I'm your boy Corey G. G-Unit, we out.